Hey, what's up, Hot Tub?
Sorry.
Yeah. So you there? You able to? You it's like you was able to get in?
Yeah, I'm on now.
Okay. Well, that's good, man. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Finally coming back to TikTok. We're gonna make this a more permanent thing.
Yes, sir. Got to, man. But yeah, I can't wait for your page, man, to get rolling.
Well, I ain't got no choice now. I've been banned from every platform.
Hey, that's why they don't call you the king of controversy for nothing.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? So, but it ain't gonna stop you. You know.
Now we're gonna keep rolling. We're gonna just bring my talent to South Beach, aka TikTok.
Not one, not two,
But
not
three.
three, not four. Hey man, how many times we've had to restart pages and everything, man. By the way, good morning everybody who's in here already. But you know, just like what Hot Tub saying, I had to redo a whole YouTube page, man.
Yeah,
And
everywhere we go, we get banned.
yeah, man. Well, matter of fact, the third time now. But guess what, Tub? It's already past the 500,000 views
Yeah, I
already.
need to catch up with you, man. I see you do your thing over here on TikTok.
Yeah, man. We out here, man. We just doing what we can, but you know, and let the chips fall where they may. Like someone said earlier this week. Um, but man, today we've been meaning to do this anyway. But talk about Ayesha Curry and the Steph Curry thing. I know it's kind of stepped back a little bit because of the new news out there with the sports betting, but we still want to talk about the Ayesha Curry thing, man, and just how just get our thoughts on it and anybody else's thoughts on that situation. Um, but man, with Curry, man, he just real quick on him, man. He's starting off the season scoring a lot of points, and that he's doing what he do. But man, he's a good guy, man, and from what we all know from the surface, and this just made it very interesting, especially from the guy's point of view, man, on this Ayesha Curry thing, man. But just to glaze over the top of it a little bit, Ayesha Curry's been known for making a lot of comments, I guess stating her side of things or her feelings about relationship, in particular hers with Curry and what all comes with that. And it's just interesting, man, that she would say like she doesn't feel like she gets the attention, the male attention, like Curry gets the female attention. And then other things like, you know, life is just so bad for her because, she didn't get to do things her way, I guess, and her initial views of how life was supposed to go for her and things. And, now she has to be a wife and family and all this stuff. So just getting the overall thoughts on that, man. What's your initial thoughts on Ayesha Curry, man?
I think Ayesha Curry is the same type of woman as a Jada Pinkett Smith. Ungrateful. This man has provided a life that she clearly could not provide for herself. I mean, she made the comment that she had her own thing going on and she wanted a career in modeling and to be on TV. And in no way, shape, form, or fashion is Ayesha Curry pretty enough or talented enough to have achieved the level of success that Steph Curry did. And she got to be realistic about it herself. This man is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He's at least he's gonna retire and be considered at least top five, a first round pick for the Hall of Fame, hands down. Nothing you could have done with your life could ever achieve the level of success and fame that he did, and he provided that to you. He's been a stand up husband. You don't hear no cheating rumors, no infidelity of any kind. He obviously loved his family. You
Yep.
know, and I personally saw the cracks in it when he started to bring his daughter in the interviews, and how your kids act in public is a clear indicator of their upbringing. Not to say that she was super disrespectful, his daughter, when he would take her up for the interviews, but just how she interacted with her father. She does what her mama does: cut him off,
Mm-hmm.
talk back, and that showed early on. And Ayesha Curry got to be realistic. I saw it when she went on that talk show and they brought the muscle men out and she went pulling on her ring. You know how disrespectful that is to her husband.
Yeah,
Then you
man.
get on every talk show you get on, you're disrespecting them, talking about I never saw myself being married and he wasn't really my type. All that is disrespect to that man, especially with what he's done for you. And she is like a lot of women out here, a lot of married women that think like this.
Mm.
Like I should have done better. How? How as a pie faced light skinned woman was you gonna do better than him? What do you think you were gonna do that would have equated to the amount of success that he's and notoriety that he's gained over his career?
Man. Okay, so we got to unpack a couple things before we get back to that part. You mentioned something about you saw some cracks in there in the armor when she going back to when Curry was bringing I believe Riley is her name, the little girl at that time,
Yeah.
like to the interviews and stuff. What are you meaning by that when you see the cracks in there when you about that?
Well, first of all, why wasn't she with her mama? Let's start there.
Okay.
And that's not just Steph Curry. That's to a lot of these NBA guys that bring the kids up onto the press conferences and stuff. They're young kids. No, no, take it to her mama. This is my job. I'm doing my job. Do you? And listen, I open this to any man in the audience or even to you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you let your wife just drop your kids off at your job while
No.
you actively doing your job for you to watch? No, nobody would do that.
Correct.
Nobody. You're not. Look, take the kids. Go to the car. Now I can see when he won the championship, you want to bring your kids up and all that. That's cool because you're celebrating the moment. But when you're doing an active interview, you are doing your job. You are at work. I can't deal with this while I'm at work. Take the kids. You can take them, and that shows. I can almost guarantee that she's at the house anytime he's off for a day. Talking about you don't never spend no time with the kids. Well, it's basketball season. I take y'all on vacations and all that and during my off season. But right now I'm in work mode. And with basketball, you got to train, you got practice, you training, you doing the medical stuff for your body. You don't have time to be that hands on father. That's what your off season for. So I have to trust you as my wife to be able to handle the kids. And we're rich. I can almost guarantee she got a maid. I can almost guarantee you she got a nanny. So why are you acting like it's just so hard to be you? She ain't cleaning. Ayesha
well,
Curry
well,
ain't
well,
cleaning up no house.
Tug, what about like with let me see, the one and only. He just made a comment. His name's similar to yours, the one and only. But he's saying that like NBA is a like family friendly environment, and basically why wouldn't she be able to? Why wouldn't the daughter be able to be in the interviews with Curry after the game?
She shouldn't be. I get what he's saying. Like for PR purposes, they want you to have. Well, if that's the case, then she need to. Then Ayesha, you the one with the kids all the time. You need to instill in them that when you come up to when Daddy comes up to this podium, you ought to sit there and look cute, not interrupt. And
Ex-
I personally, I don't think the NBA is telling them to bring their families up, to bring their kids up, because they got other kids.
well, I mean, I know that there's been a run of that through the years. Like I know what Chris Paul used to bring his little kid up there. Jason Kidd before that, used to bring his kids up there. Now I know in the '90s it wasn't like that, but somewhere around that Jason Kidd era, so that would be when he was with the Nets. So somewhere around that 2000, somewhere that early to mid 2000 era, they started bringing kids to the podiums with them, and it's carried on all the way up to now. But um, that's interesting to see that part of it where um, you would think that, but I do agree with a lot of points though, as far as like how she is saying like it's just like she wasn't able to start her own, like the what is it, the cooking thing she wanted to start up and kind of do it on her own and on her own merit and stuff. Like I mean,
Okay,
that
so
what is,
so
why would
so
you even
who's
feel that
stopping
way?
her?
Yeah.
Oh, and the one and only one to come up on the panel, but
Oh, okay. Appreciate that, man. My bad one. We gonna bring you on, bro. So or ma'am, I don't know which one until we get you on, but
we don't know your pronouns.
yeah. So we gonna bring you up. We appreciate this. So
But yeah, she nothing stopping her. If she wants to do a cooking show, a failed cooking show, she can do it. Hell,
right.
it'll be a whole lot easier for her to do it because her last name is Curry, and she's attached to Steph. Being married to him brings her all kind of opportunities that she could not have obviously gotten for herself. She's not talented. She does not have a good personality, and that comes through in interviews that she does. But
Yep.
whenever somebody puts a mic in her face, she goes out of her way to disrespect her husband.
Yeah. Oh wait,
Nobody.
no, he's up here too. To or she. You want to introduce yourself there?
Is he, boss?
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that, man. We just want to
Yeah,
make
nah,
sure.
no worries. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good
Morning.
morning. What's up?
Man, this is a prime example of new age feminism, toxic feminism,
Mm,
where media has convinced these women that they don't need their men and that their men are holding them back. And we're seeing that at the level of our net worth. I'm assuming y'all aren't millionaires like myself. I'm broke. But now we're starting to see it with the wealthy folk, and we're
uh,
starting to see these women that are just like, oh, I should have been this and I should have done that, and I like bro was saying, they got money. They could have had a nanny this whole time. She could have been out doing the damn thing. If she really wanted to do it, she could have did it, but she didn't because she was living off her husband's hundreds of millions of dollars and she was chilling. Now something has flipped in her brain and she is out attacking her husband on a regular basis, and it's just me, 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 me. Where whenever I've heard Curry talk about his family, it's
yeah.
always we. He
Mm,
talk about it's me, my wife, and my kids, but when you hear her talk, it's me, 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 me. And that's what feminism is now. It's selfishness. It is attack the man, not just trying to build up other women. It's we got to tear down the man to build
It has
ourselves up.
it has always been that. That's nothing new. But I got a little bit of a different take on that, but it's still the same on the same lines. Coming up when they met each other, and she said this on several interviews that she was considered the prize. She was the one chased after by guys when they were in high school. She got all the attention. Steph Curry was an awkward teenager. And you go back and look at pictures of Steph, you could tell he was not who he eventually came to be. Even when he came into the league, he was not that guy.
yeah. Even in
You know,
college.
that's that's happened over the years.
Yeah.
So she was able to hold that over his head, like, I'm the prize type of thing. And I'm pretty sure she said that into him in private. If you've ever had if you as a man have ever had a disrespectful woman who really doesn't like you, but she's with you because of who you are and what you can provide, they'll take little shots like that at you. And she's one of those type chicks. But now, as he's progressed in his career, and he's become one of the greatest 3-point shooters in history, and
The
redefined the game to
the
where
greatest.
he is the prototype NBA player going forward. Now, some players they just redefine their positions, and Steph Curry is one of them. Now that he's getting all this attention, she's sitting on the sidelines like, "What about me?" And it's a form of jealousy.
That's what I was going to ask you, gentlemen. Is she really jealous of the situation,
Absolutely.
and more so than
Well, I
anything?
mean, she even said it. One of the comments that she made was about the attention that Steph gets from women, but how she doesn't get the attention from the men. That was one of her takes.
See,
She
and
doesn't she doesn't like that she doesn't get this attention, and she's not I guess desired by just regular men. But what has she done,
Right.
and who is she to be this woman that I desire? Like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if she was not attached to Steph, bro, honestly, even her being married to Steph for all this time, bro, if I was walking down the street and I passed Ayesha Curry, I wouldn't even recognize the bitch.
man,
And I'm not even
it's
trying to be disrespectful, but like, bro, I don't know her, and
Right.
I've seen her for the past 17 years.
it's an Ayesha Curry. Ayesha Curry has no discernible features from the
No,
average OnlyFans model. It's about 400 Ayesha Currys on that look exactly like her on Instagram and on Instagram and on OnlyFans at any given time. Nothing stands out about you.
nothing.
You are, as Cat Williams said, a pie faced light skinned woman.
Her best feature is her husband.
Yeah, you're
And
average.
that's
You're five at best.
but that's the thing. If she's worried about not being desired, but she's been desired by a guy who is almost, he's on track to be a billionaire one day. He's a professional athlete. Like,
But she doesn't like.
what are you worried about?
So
You passionate about it.
she
She doesn't
apparently
like.
didn't want this life at all. She said that she thought Steph Curry was going to wind up being a basketball coach.
And you know what? I want you to stop right there for a second. And that makes sense because if people remember, if you go back to Curry and go back to his when they was evaluating him and things
Oh, and
coming out
David
of
said
high
he won't supposed to
school,
be this.
right? Coming out of high school, he
Yup.
wasn't even a major like star player. Like he wasn't
At
a
all.
4 star, 3 star. He might have been a 3 star at best. He was a mid major at best as far as college level, and then even going into the professional level, he was drafted like number 8 or 9 or something when he came out. But the Minnesota Timberwolves drafted not one but 2 point guards. They had 2 picks before Curry, before the ninth pick of the draft. They had 2 picks. They picked Ricky Rubio and another guy that used to play for Syracuse, I believe. It was 2 guards, 2 point guards that they drafted. They even used one of those to draft Curry. So going back to what she's thinking, yeah, he might have been a guy that eventually, didn't get to the big leagues or whatever, and just become a normal person like us. So I can see from that perspective of how she might be looking at him.
Oh,
And the
100%.
sad
Nobody
part is,
expected Curry's ankles to last this long.
yeah, and then he had the ankle injuries and stuff too, starting off early. But at the end of the day, look at what you end up with, and life is good. It should be good
That's
for
a,
you.
that's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. And you
Not to
should
a
want
wick-
you
not
should you should
not
do
to a
nothing but
wicked
sing your
broad at
husband's
night.
praise. Like, you
This
should
this
be his biggest supporter.
Yeah.
she's jealous of him, there's no other way around it.
Mm.
She has the same thing going on with her that Jada Pinkett has with Will Smith. Jada Pinkett was in the same field as Will Smith. Never thought Will Smith's career would take off as it was. She thought he would be an average rapper, and he was just a placeholder to the one she wanted, which was Tupac. Came around and realized that he wanted to be with her. And a lot of
Mm.
women do that. They'll use these men. You're just temporary. You're here to provide me some level of security to the man I really want takes interest in me, and I can leave you. Because
Hey,
I guarantee you, it's a man somewhere in Ayesha Curry's past that kind of led her on. He would come in and beat her back out, and that's the one that she really wanted. Steph was just there to provide her with a lifestyle till that man came along and she could leave him. That man never materialized for her, and Steph became who he is. So now she's in a position where I can't leave this lifestyle because I can't go out anywhere and do better. It's very few women that can leave a superstar and go over somewhere and do better. Only one I've seen is Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. Now she's been able to figure that out, but as she just got older, she's having to settle. And women have to. A lot of women don't realize the older you get, the lower your stock goes. Your prime years are from 19 to 25. That's your run as a woman. Some can stretch it out past that into their 30s, maybe hit that 32 mark if they really take care of themselves and take care of their body. But that wall hits fast, and once that wall hits, it's a wrap. You got to lead the dance with who you came with.
Ooh, boy.
Hey,
Yeah,
let me ask y'all this:
yeah.
if she's willing to be this open in public and interviews, what y'all think she's like in private?
Talking shit, taking little shots at them, being very disrespectful.
Like I feel like if a man comes walking out with his shirt off and you on live TV play it pulling your ring off, I don't think it's a far fetch to say that she getting dick down somewhere else, bro.
She
Like
probably
if
is.
you can do that shit on TV,
Yeah.
like if you could be that out in the public with it, your private life got to be wild.
And
I
the
That's
think
fact
that's
that
my
even
2 cents.
the fact that those guys were just regular guys, they are paid models. That's what they're there for. They are not no superstar. They haven't accomplished any level of success that a Steph Curry has. They
No,
might be male strippers, and you going crazy for that. Then she might have dibbled and dabbled with a personal trainer or somebody. That's normally how it goes. They always cheat with the personal trainer.
well, yeah, we seen heard a lot of stories of that, but
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like here's a question, the piggyback off that. So if that was Savannah James sitting up there in this same scenario, would do y'all think she would have this same reaction like Aisha?
They're two different women. Savannah James is appreciative of the opportunity that she's been given. It's been rumors about LeBron stepping out, but you know what Savannah James does? She has the sense enough to keep her personal life separate from his public life. She's not seeking the limelight. Savannah James is sitting back raising kids and enjoying the fortune that LeBron has provided. She's
Yeah,
even making business moves on her own quietly
yeah,
there,
outside of him.
I mean there needs to be more NBA wives that are in that. I mean, so let's think about it. So LeBron is a different case because LeBron is an absolute superstar. So we know Savannah because we've seen a deep dive into LeBron's personal life off the court. But outside of somebody like LeBron, and then like Dwayne Wade, because his wife is, famous in her own rights, how many other NBA stars do we know their wives other than just like, yeah, we've heard the name or whatever, but you never see them. They're never in the news about nothing. They're not going on these interviews. Like they're
right.
in the background supporting their husbands.
Yeah,
But you know what? You brought up something, and you hit on a real good point. We see the same thing that Ayesha Curry is doing with Dwayne Wade's wife because her career didn't go. Gabrielle Union was a failed actress
Yeah,
who has been in about 5 good movies. She's been in a lot more, but she's been in the 5 maybe good movies. Her career was on the downstroke. The best thing she did was to marry Dwayne Wade,
she
and I
don't
think that was more of him fanning out over her than her
probably.
liking him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have a whole bunch of different opinions on Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
oh man.
That
Yeah, feel free to share those opinions because it could all tie somewhere back into this.
No,
Uh,
that is no. I don't like them like in as in general just as people like and it's got I know people got their take on their children and whatnot, but there's a lot of shit that Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade are into in their personal lives that is just like mm. I love
Gabrielle,
Dwayne Wade as a player. I think he's one of the greatest to ever lace him up, but as a person, he's fucking weird, bro. Him and
I don't think
Gabrielle are weird,
I
and
don't
they're into
think
some weird shit.
he shouldn't have. As a father, that's not her child. It was never her place to put your child out front as the poster child for transgenderism.
We agree.
And and even his ex, his child's mother didn't like the fact that she was out front with his son, making him transition and doing interviews, and she just capitalized off of that. She rode that LGBT wave based off of his son, and you as a father allowed that. And I'm glad you did this on Ayesha Curry, but it leads to a bigger conversation of these disrespectful women who will do anything to gain relevance for themselves.
They just want some attention.
That's it. Look
And it
at
does not
me.
matter who gets in the way, what gets in the way.
yeah.
They will
It's just
use
selfish
anybody.
acts.
They will use their kids. They will use their husband. They will use anybody to gain a level of recognition. You already have the money. They just want to be famous. They want people to know them. They want some attention. These are grown ass children. Children beg for attention. That's what these women are. They never were in. They were either they were a pretty girl in high school and they want that level of attention back. They never knew how to transition from that high school person that they were. They never grew. They never gained any level of a personality outside of I'm pretty. Look at me, and
And
that's what you're seeing.
and tell, do you see somebody else on here? I'm trying to move work in the background, but is there anybody else on that joint? I clicked on a couple buttons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
it's the old boy down there.
somebody came up.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Hi. Good afternoon. I didn't want to interrupt you until you guys prompted me. Thank you
All right.
for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Sure. Give us,
Um,
give us your name here.
oh, my name is Neka.
Okay, Nectar. All right. Good morning.
Hi. Hello. Good afternoon.
Morning.
Okay. Oh, it's morning. Okay, I'm in the UK. It's afternoon here.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, hi. And I'm glad that this space is here because I have an opinion that I know. I mean, before anybody says anything, please just give me a second to. Okay. So I kind of understand where Aisha Curry is coming from, but I also understand the other side of it. How people might feel that she is being highly inappropriate, being very public and vocal about her seeming dissatisfaction with where she is in her life at this moment. And I want to use a very good example. So that whatever you feel about this person, I think it's a very good example. And maybe if I use their copulation, even though it seems to me very new, people can understand where Aisha is coming from. So if you look at the other Splash brother, Clay Thompson, I'm a big Clay Thompson fan. I've been Clay's fangirl for years. And in many ways, I know people don't really agree with me. I've always thought Clay was a better all-round basketball player and shooter than Steph Curry. But that's just me. And if we look at Clay at this moment, he's dating Megan Thee Stallion, right? Now, again, whatever people's thoughts are about Megan Thee Stallion, I'm not here to judge Megan Thee Stallion or anything. I'm just using an example.
Okay.
Megan is 30. Clay is what, 35, 36? I think he's about a year or two younger than
Right.
Steph Curry, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So if we move by, if the feeling I'm getting watching Clay and Megan is, let's say they get married, right? If you look at Megan, Megan is coming into this relationship as Megan Thee Stallion. She's her own person, her own individual. She's had the opportunity to use her 20s to build her career, live her life. Again, I'm not here to judge her personally. I personally love Megan, but I know a lot of people don't. But like whatever your thoughts about her, she has built a name for herself, a brand, a number of businesses. In fact, if you read some of the comments, you will see people when she first came out with Clay, they knew of Clay, but they didn't really know Clay because Clay is quiet, right?
Hmm.
So if you look at the Ayesha and Steph situation, Ayesha got married very young and did not get a chance in a, to probably, do her own thing, establish herself before becoming a wife. Now, I know people have said that no one forced her to get married young. It was her choice. She most likely knew what she was doing marrying someone like Steph. But I will kind of counter that slightly. I wasn't watching Steph's career from the beginning, but I saw a lot of old interviews and a lot of old pundits did not really see the career that Steph has today for him back then. I mean, yeah, he was a fairly decent shooter, yes, but I think we all remember that he used to always have injuries. He wasn't really known for his defense. He was just, okay, fine, he can shoot. And by that time, NBA itself wasn't necessarily the shooting game, right? So I can understand and even believe her when she says, while she knew that he was a basketball player, she probably didn't expect, I don't think anybody really expected Steph to become Steph. So I would say let's just give her some grace. I know. It sounds, I know for a lot of people, it's triggering to see someone with Ayesha Curry's privilege. She's a beautiful woman. She's light skinned. She meets society's standard, and she's married to one of the most popular and richest basketball players in the world. So hearing her talk seems like, oh, she's being ungrateful. But I say, let's just take a step back and just give her some grace. I don't think she's saying that she
Absolutely
hates
not.
her. Steph,
Absolutely
but
not. She gets no
okay, fair
grace.
enough.
She gets, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but absolutely not. She gets no grace
Okay.
for the simple
But
fact that
from hot tub, right?
no, like nobody forced her to get married. Nobody forced her to have the kids. No, but she wasn't forced at any step of her journey. She showed no level of discernible talent. She's not a singer. She's not a rapper. She's not an actress. She's not a model. Nor has she pursued that at any stage in her marriage or before. So what is it? What is it that you want to do? Because she's never said what it is that she wanted to pursue. Because if anything, her being married to Steph affords her the opportunity to do whatever it is that she wants to do. She has not made the attempt to do anything other than being married to Steph Curry and getting on interviews and disrespecting him. If she wanted to do something, if you wanted to be a model, go model. Go get you an agent. Go sign up with an agency. Go take some headshot pictures and strike out there. But she didn't. If you want to, she has a cookbook or a cooking show. Go make some dishes. Go open up you a TikTok page and start cooking. You can gain fame and notoriety based off of that. But she didn't. She's not doing anything to warrant what she's complaining about. So no, she gets no grace. She is a spoiled, disrespectful woman.
I mean, I understand you, and I do agree that to a large extent, she probably shouldn't be saying all this stuff publicly. She has a husband and she has family, so
Hmm.
I think they should sit down together and have a conversation with themselves. But and I also agree with you, and I did mention it that nobody forced her to get married. No one told her to have kids so young. I mean, she could have very well gotten married and they could have waited. No one told them to have kids young. But the reason why I say give her grace is my understanding. Look, I'm not a fan of Aisha Curry. There's some pick me nonsense that she's said in the past has really irritated me, and the fact that she's all the one thing she said that made me really dislike her was when she was like, "Black women don't accept her," and I'm an African woman, and I was like, Aisha, you are a mixture of multiple cultures. Why do black women need to accept you? That part that never made sense to me, but. I do think, and the reason I give her grace is she is somebody that came from a very Christian background. And if you know a lot of these Christian families, they tend to want men and women to settle down very young. She got married, what, 21, 22? I think it's 21, 22.
Hmm.
So, look, I hear what you're saying. I agree with you on some of your points. The reason I say give her grace is because of how young she was and how sheltered she was. And yeah, I don't know. My only critique of her has always been maybe discuss this with your husband and your family and stop saying it publicly
Yeah,
because people are interpreting it as you are unhappy in your marriage and you want to cheat. If you know what I
She
mean.
does.
So I hear you though.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're right there, ma'am. That's how it comes across. Like it comes across that I can say that from at least my perspective or a male perspective. I think a lot of guys really feel that way, and maybe on the female side, there's a little more compassion for it than the guys. And because I hear you saying that you understand where we're coming from on this side of the fence with it, and but yet at the same time you're saying, hey, give her a little grace because of her upbringing, if you will. But I say this too, Steph Curry, he's a like you can answer this, ma'am. Steph Curry comes across as a guy who's he believes in his God, he's a family oriented guy. Like he seems like he has the qualities, even if he wasn't a professional basketball player, or even if he was just a guy who plays in the G League or overseas or something like that. He seems like a guy that has the characteristics that a woman that's looking to be married would want. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he does. He seems like a home figure. But don't forget that. Sorry, I'm chewing.
That's all right.
Don't forget that we don't live with these people. We don't know their personal life. And I think Steph Curry, even though I'm sorry to say this, I'm sure he's a handsome guy. He's not my type. But I know that because of his status, he will have women, people throwing themselves at him. And you have a wife, because Ayesha Curry comes up to me as somebody who probably had a whole ambition, life plan for herself. Do I think there is some, I won't say jealousy.
Yes.
Do I think there is some, what's the word to use? There is some,
Jealousy.
no, no. Well, jealousy is harsh.
Animosity,
Resentment, well,
resentment.
resentment is worse actually.
I
But
mean,
like maybe even envy that, okay, look,
envy.
he,
Okay, I
That's
like that
all
word.
jealousy. That's still jealousy.
I like
yeah, fair
envy.
enough, fair enough. No, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Because like I think that's why I really kind of see, because don't forget nowadays women nowadays are able to be, or at least that is the way they present themselves. They're able to be wives, mothers, entrepreneurs, business women. And
Hmm.
I think what she probably resents or is envious or is jealous of is this man has been able to build a brand, Steph Curry. I as his wife have been staying home with the kids, holding it down so that he can build this brand, Steph Curry. And yes, I benefit from it. Yes, he takes care of me, but oh, how I would have liked to build my own thing. I don't know what Aisha's name was before she married Steph, sorry. But like maybe she wanted her own thing too. And again, it's not unusual. I just think that maybe don't discuss it. I can understand why people hearing it are triggered by it, but yeah, that's just all I wanted to say. That I understand where she's coming from, but I also understand where the guys are coming from as well.
Hold on. Don't go anywhere because this is my thing with this. What you said. She has the opportunity. Matter of fact, I think she has a greater opportunity to do whatever it is that she wants to do now because of her attachment to Steph Curry. But yet and still, she's shown no interest in doing anything other than getting on interviews and disrespecting him. And that's my issue. He has put you on. He has put your life on easy mode. And I guess I'm kind of close to this because I went through a similar situation in my situation. I went overseas and made a lot of money to the point to where my wife didn't have to work for 15 years. I held it down and made a shitload of money. And during that time, okay, You got everything you said you wanted. When she said she wasn't unhappy, she was unhappy because she was working and going to school, and I don't have time to do it all. And whoa, whoa, whoa. I said, okay, quit your job. I'm making enough money. She did that. She did not finish school. She didn't finish. It took her an additional 10 years to finish school. Now, you had everything's paid for. You had every opportunity to do whatever it is that you said you wanted to do, and still didn't do it. So you can't come back crying because I didn't get to do this and that. Well, you had a whole 15 years of time to do whatever it is that you wanted to do, pursue whatever career that you wanted to pursue. I put life on easy mode for you. And that's the same thing that Steph has done. But I'm seeing that a lot of women aren't happy with themselves. And I think that's Ayesha Curry. She's not happy with herself. That's something that Steph can't fix. That's something that I couldn't fix. You got to fix that for yourself. So Ayesha needs to go sit down on somebody's couch and get some counseling.
But she said
Figure out what it is that she wants to do. But you sitting up here going on interviews disrespecting this man. And I think the only reason that we haven't heard him speak on it publicly is that he doesn't want to tarnish his image, because he's probably got agents and managers, people in the NBA in his ear saying, just chill. Now,
I think he's.
what I think is going to happen, as soon as he retires, she's going to divorce him, and she's going to get on one of these basketball wives shows and start to really publicly disrespect him. That's the most likely scenario of where this is going.
wow.
I hope not. I hope the both of them are able to, because to be fair, he has come out. I think. Do you guys remember when Ayesha was giving an interview with Jada Pinkett Smith? I think, and she was saying that she doesn't like that men don't notice her. They
Yes,
don't. Do you guys remember that? Yeah.
I remember that.
So when I watched it in its entirety, I kind of again was it badly worded? Yes, but I think it comes back to the point I made about her, whether you want to call it envy, jealousy, resentment. I don't know. I think, and I do hear what you say about it's very possible for a partner to give you all the foundation you need. Baby, I've got it. I've given. Don't work anymore. Just focus on your own goals. But I also think that the children play a part in it. I think the thing that she also probably resents is again, and it comes down to her marrying and having kids so young. Not even marrying so young. I think it's the kids thing. I think she probably also feels like because she is a mom, that limits her. And let's be realistic, there are things that she probably would like to do, place and career aspirations that she would have that would have requirements on her time that would not be possible because she has all these kids as well. So yeah, well, however we want to cut it, I do think you are right. She needs therapy. She needs someone to talk to. I'm hoping she can resolve whatever it is that is not happy inside her without ruining her marriage. I'm hoping it doesn't happen because I think Steph's mom left his dad.
Yep.
That happened, right? I feel like that happened.
Yeah, it
It
did.
happened,
Yeah,
right?
that did happen.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping their story doesn't end that way because that would be very unfortunate.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. Okay,
Oh, hey y'all, Jerry's here too, by the way. What's up, Jerry?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I apologize, man. I didn't get in late from refereeing basketball last night, and I had football Friday, so I kind of slept a little bit later. But anyway, so I'm just kind of catching up, and I guess I just came in on the Ayesha Curry thing you guys are talking about, and I heard Hot Tub was explaining his situation and stuff. For me, one of the things that I think is a big problem or has been a problem is that I think we as men have caused a lot of things in women. And that is because we have allowed for us to say, I'm the man and I'm going to take care of everything. I just need you to be home and be cute. So if you look back, way back in the day, I mean, go back when grandmother and granddaddy was work, grandma may not have worked. She might have worked part-time. She might go clean a house or two and do something. But she always made sure the house was clean, the kids was taken care of, the dinner was cooked. And that male, he went out and worked. So where we're losing it at, I just feel like if I'm going to allow my woman or my spouse to be at home, then there has to be a job for her to do. She don't have to go out and work, but the home has to be her job. You can't continue to say, oh, well, baby, I'm going to get you a cleaning person to come in and clean. I'm going to get this to be done. I'm going to get somebody to come in and watch the kids while you're at home, going out, shopping, getting your nails done. And I think that a lot of it just starts with us, that our roles have shifted, and we haven't allowed them to be the helpmeet that God has created women to be.
Jerry,
So
I got
that's just kind of my...
No, don't mute, because I want you to. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna pose a question to you. This is my thing with that, Jerry. This has been going. Men have provided great lives for women since the beginning of humanity. Men have always put those roles. Some men have been more successful at it than others. In the case of Steph Curry, we see that. But this unappreciativeness from the women is a fairly new phenomenon. So where do you think the root of that comes from? Because to say that it's our... Go ahead. I'm going to let you answer. Go ahead.
No, I think that starts from our social media. I think that what we see on TV, that we think that we got millions of dollars that we watch these entertainers do, the things that they go out and do, and I think it's a trickle-down effect. We have people that are emulating like they got money, they got a bag, it's all about this bag. So now I think that, that's part of it, and I would also think that the success of women have changed that. I want much success for women, black women, especially empowered. But I think that in itself has changed. I used to hear people say, the women's movement or the women's liberation, is a great thing. And I don't want to, I'm disagreeing with that, but I also think that it hurt our male role, because now a lot of women look like, hey, I got what I need. I don't need you. If you can't match what I got, I'm making $100,000 a year, and if you ain't making 200, 300, we ain't comparable. When it used to be, hey, the man making 30,000 and you ain't making nothing, and it was good. So I think just the empowerment, the movement has changed that. I got a friend of mine, she posted something one day. She said, why would a man leave a woman with a PhD or go mess around with a woman with a PhD with a woman who barely got her GED? And my comment was, hey, it's the way she treated. It's the way she make him feel appreciated.
Yep.
She appreciate the money that he's bringing in. She appreciate what he's doing, because she don't have that. So she appreciate him. She makes sure he's good when he's coming in, when he's going out. You, on the other hand, like, I ain't got to do nothing for you. You need to show me that you can match me. So yeah, I think that in a roundabout way, like, I want success, but I think that it has caused our women to lose focus on where their role. And I don't want to say that because I don't want to make it seem like they're just tied, like that women are supposed to have a certain thing, but I think it made us lose focus on how we're supposed to operate together.
Okay, Jerry, I hear that. I hear that, and I'm glad you brought. That's what I wanted you to go to, is that they're comparing themselves, because you hit it on the head and you kind of came back up off of it. They're comparing themselves to women on social media. Ayesha Curry is, we using her as an example. But what they're not seeing on the flip side is those same women who have, quote unquote, those lives, and they got those careers and they got their stuff together. Those are the same women on social media. If you go further down on their posts complaining about they don't have no man and they're so unhappy, because I got the money, I got the career, but I don't have a man, and there's no man that can match my energy, and this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
What tends to happen when women are goal orientated, they become very self centered, and that's the part nobody want to talk about. That self centeredness, when you prioritize yourself as a woman, you're operating outside of your role. We have traditional gender roles for a reason. It has worked for humanity for 2,000 years or longer, depending on who you talk to. Those roles have not changed in over 2,000 years. This is a recent phenomenon within the last 60 or so years that women have the ability to put themselves on par with men. And what we're seeing is when that happens, society suffers as a whole. Because you look at single women who have good careers and they can provide for themselves. Now look at their children. Their children are in a lot of cases assholes because they're missing that male role that's supposed to enforce that level of discipline in them. And all this comes from, and we look at the society as a whole right now, it's because you got men operating outside of our roles. You got women operating outside of our roles. And who suffers out of that? The children suffer out of that. Society suffers out of that.
Yeah. If I could just jump in, and I ain't going to steal
Go
about
ahead.
a 30 second, but I think what you said is great too, because now what's happening is you're having women, and whether they come wherever level they're on in society, and even it kills me when we have women on a level of society when they're living in housing, they're dependent on government assistance, but then they want to walk around like, oh, I'm going to get a Chanel purse and bag and hats and clothes, and that means something. But hell, you barely got a car. Your car had leaking oil. You got these other things. You value the things that you shouldn't be valued, and why not value, say, I'm going to make some investment. Let me learn about the stock market. Let me do those things. Because now a lot of you guys are raising young black men and females that are seeing you, and then they think that's the way. Because unfortunately, our black males, a lot of us, especially with this last generation, are either incarcerated, we just lost our way, we don't understand what it means to really be a man or a male role model. Even on the streets, you hear these YNs out here. I mean, you got 14-year-olds, 13, 14, 15-year-old out here want to walking around with pockets full of money with guns, because this is what they're seeing. They don't even have role models on the streets anymore. Your OGs, your gangsters, they don't even have that to keep them in line anymore. And I think that just started for a single female home where they're seeing a mother talking about, hey, and no disrespect for anyone that's not like that. I'm only using that as an example. But for the ones that are out there and you ain't got anything, you want to go out and emulate like you got a bag, you got this, you go put these big old rims on your car and do all this other stuff. But then the next week, you begging for $100 from your mother to pay your light bill. So It's like priority, but what you're saying is absolutely true. I think that is killing our society. It's hurting us so bad. Like, how do we recover now? How do we stop this now?
Like, for example, guys, in the household, right? Who's supposed to dump the trash, take the trash out? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna say that's the man's role, right? It's the man's role to take the trash. And like going back to with Ayesha Curry, it's like she doesn't. To me, it's like she doesn't want to be in that role of what the woman's designed to be in. And I know people might take that the wrong way, but we do have natural roles. And at the end of the day, your role as the wife, as the mother, etc. Like if you fall into those roles and then do like what we said earlier about Savannah, you can always carve out time to start your businesses and do those things. So you shouldn't. There's really no reason for her, in my opinion, to be sideways about all this. Like you got the opportunity to be on both sides of the fence because you have the infrastructure in place to do that, while other people don't have that infrastructure. Somebody else, regular everyday woman with a regular everyday man, and you want to and she wants to be a wife, be a mother, be a do all these things, have the household, have the family, but then at the same time want to start a business. Like, it's going to be a lot harder for that person to get that startup money, to do this, to carve out time to be able to focus here and there. But in her situation, they had the financial backing. So if being home taking care of the kids 24 hours would take away that time, you have the option to be able to pay for additional help to take that off your plate for enough of hours to work on your business. So really, she's winning. And I think, to sum it up for me, she's winning, but she's complaining that she's winning. What do y'all think?
This is the dysfunctional part of the whole thing, man. Is that you have, and I see this a lot in society with married people. I got some feedback going on.
That's a little feedback from Jared. He's muted. He's muted, but he's there.
All right. You see this? You see the married women that are envious of the single women, and the single women don't want to be single. They want what you have as the married woman, and these married women don't understand that they're operating the way they're operating and doing the things they do out of necessity, not because that's what they chose. And the married women are looking at that like, well, I could have a career and this, that, and the third, but they don't see that woman is tired. That woman has to go into corporate America every day where she's devalued as a black woman. And I work in corporate America. I see how black women are treated when they go in those corporate jobs that are paying those six-figure jobs. Oh, they are totally disrespected. And if there's not a black man somewhere in that corporation that's on par with their level, that's acting as their advocates, they are an island amongst themselves, and they go home unhappy every day. I see it. That's why they wrap themselves up in designer bags, designer clothes, designer shoes, because they're trying to fill a void because they are unhappy. And if you set them down and talk to them one-on-one, they'll admit it to you. They're the first thing they say, I got everything that I wanted and I'm still not happy. Meanwhile, the married woman who has a lifestyle that the husband has provided, he's provided everything that she could possibly want, and she's still not happy. So the bigger conversation needs to be, why is it that women today are unhappy no matter what role they're in?
You got something to say there, Jerry, on that?
No, not much. This can be expanded in a lot of ways. I talk to a lot of people sometimes about this, it's just, like I say, where do we start? How do we either work within what we got to figure out how we can respect one another, respect the roles, or find a way to get back to where we were and where you're looked at, as the male role model. And then it also has to start with us. Like that, what I said originally, like we got to find a way to continue. I got to hold my woman accountable. I got to hold her accountable. If I come home and the house ain't clean and you've been out all day and the dinner ain't cooked and you're not working, I got to hold her accountable. I can't be like, hey, babe, why this ain't done? Hey, babe, let's sit down and talk, because, we have roles here. Yeah, I said I'll be the breadwinner, but I also need you to provide a space where I can operate and be comfortable, where I can go out and be the breadwinner. Like, we got to have those conversations within our family. Here's the other thing that I'm going to say. Marriage. We put too much, and I say this all the time, when we're getting married or in the marriage, we put too much on the M. we glorify the M, and what I mean about that, we glorify the marriage, and we say, oh, we married now, and everything that you was doing, whoever you was, that's going to change. No. We have to be dedicated to what I call the C first. You have to get the C before the M. If you get the commitment, because see, the M, we look for the agape love that only Jesus can give you, or your child can give you, or the puppy can give you, right? But even after they grow up, you lose that. So we have to understand that marriage is a business. I don't know, I think Hot Tub maybe a while back we may have said something like this, but it has to understand that this is a business. We're committed to this business to make it work. Because see, if we're committed to the marriage, we look at love. Remember, love will cheat on you. Love will hurt you. A commitment won't necessarily do that, because you know what? You might have made me mad, but I'm committed to you. You may have done these things, but I ain't finna go out here and do that because I'm committed to you. Once you get the commitment, who cares about whether I get the ring or the marriage, because we're already married. Now, don't get me wrong. Once you get it, yes, you want to, that's the next level. But we put so much emphasis on the marriage. I hear women like, I want to get married, I want to get married. And then you go out and find somebody you think that you are in love with, and they look charming and they buy you and do this, but you ain't got a commitment from them. Or he don't have a commitment from you. Like, get the commitment.
Jerry, let me jump in, because you are cooking on all fucking cylinders, bro. I can't say it enough, but let me hop in real quick. And Terry, I see you, bro. I'm gonna let you cook in a minute. And Miss Nika, if you still here, please come back on here, because I got a question for all of you. And everybody feel free to answer this question. If you're married, how long have y'all been married?
For me, I've been married going on 28 years now. But don't make it seem like them 28 years, it's been a struggle, because the very same thing I'm talking about, I didn't get in the beginning. I got a beautiful woman, and I got somebody I was using love. You know, love clouds who we really are. You know, one other thing, Hot Tub, I know you didn't ask this, but what I hate about in the beginning of a relationship is dating. Like, get rid of that damn date. Get rid of that dating, because the dating only show you what I want to show you, and you only show me what I want to see. But it don't show me the real person. Let's get together. Let's spend time. Let's go to the park. Let's talk. Let's learn each other's family. Once we get that, then we can date. Once we're committed, we can date then. So anyway.
So Jerry, you've been married. We ain't too far apart in the amount of time we've been with our significant other. I can tell you from experience, bro. Me and my wife have been through damn near everything a marriage can go through: cheating, financial troubles, the ups and the downs. And you hit the nail on the head when you said it's a business. And the Bible they say the two become one. And that's what's kept us together over the years. It ain't been easy. It ain't been easy by a long shot. Even with you talk to somebody who at one time had a shitload of money. I would have been considered at one point in time that top earning people. I was pulling in $200,000 a year. I've seen, $500,000 in the bank account on a regular job salary. We went from that to having that salary cut in half, and having to adjust and make those adjustments. You can't do like you want to do. You can't go out and buy Chanel purses and Louis purses and shit no more, because I ain't working that kind of job no more. Shit go wrong in the house. I got to fix that. You nagging me and getting on my nerves. I'm nagging you, getting on your nerves, because you don't feel like I'm doing what you feel like I should be doing. That happens in the course of a marriage. And what's happening in society as a whole is that used to be back in the day, those women would go to their mothers or their mother-in-laws, and the guys would go to their father-in-law, and they could be able to talk to them. What did you do in this situation? and you can get that wise counsel. But what's happened over the course of the last 40 years is that you don't have anybody to go to that's an example of a successful marriage. Why? Because your mama ain't been married or been divorced, and she's bitter with men now, and she's not figured out how to date in her 40s, so she can't give you no advice. And the father can't give any advice because he ain't married and he out there living the single life and enjoying himself. So he
Yeah.
can't he can't turn around and tell his son, "Hey man, this is what you need to do in the marriage." Because all he gonna do is say, "Hey, I left. I couldn't
Hey,
take it no more."
hey
So
man, Tony, I done 25, but my folks married 52 years, dog, to death. To death, both of them died within a month, boss. You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? And you know, here I always say this, and I tell anybody, my mama went all the way right, and my daddy went all the way right. I ain't talking about no cheating and that. You know, everybody got their little quirks and what's called. You been together 52 years. You know, back then, folks, they didn't really tell each other they loved each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
hmm
my dad. I used to tell my dad, I love you, daddy. You know, first thing he'd say, uh-huh. He said, I love you back. You know what I'm saying? But I know he loved me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but like I say, it's a different what's called. Then a lot of these people today really just don't want to be married because they so selfish.
Yes, absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
and the sad thing about it is, you can go out there and make $100,000, $200,000, and put your all in for your family. First thing they gonna say is, "What about me?
Or
What
you
my
work too
time?
much.
Yeah, you work too much. Shit, but if I wasn't working enough, you call me a goddamn sorry low down something. Don't want to get up and work.
One thing I realized as a man, bruh, is that being a father, being a husband, that's a thankless job. There's nobody gonna come through and say you doing a good job. You got this. Nobody. Moms get the encouragement. Society has infantilized women to where nothing is their fault. They're always the victim. But they've never done that for the man. Because if you don't, hey, if you're not successful in this, there's nobody saying it's okay. It's not your fault. They're saying you was a sorry motherfucker.
Hey, one thing I can agree. I heard that crazy man Charles White said that they ain't gonna tell you why you living, but that you won't never hear that you was a good father, you was a good man until you die,
Well, yeah, yeah.
and you
But
won't hear it then because you be gone.
Yep.
you know what though? Jerry said we got to get back to how it used to be. This is one thing I would give Donald Trump credit on. Oh, he gonna force that. It's gonna reset. American society is about to do a hellified reset. He's taking away them social safety nets, like EBT and welfare and housing vouchers for Section 8 and all that shit. When all that shit goes away, when the government is no longer them women's, because the government has replaced your husband, your man.
That that,
Now
that what
government
tore
is
that,
now
that what
government
tore
is breaking.
society up. All that right there.
Yeah, once they all
They
go
they
away,
they, they try to replace the man.
yeah,
The man
but it's
in the what's called in the family.
but and they did for about 40 years. They were very
Yeah.
successful at it. Now you seeing the government breaking up with more in particular black women, but women in general, saying, "Oh, now we ain't finna do that no more." Even with child support, courts used to be very slanted towards the woman. Now, oh no, you prove to me that that's that man's child. Now a man can go in there and get, and I was a beneficiary of this. A man can go in there and get joint custody. What joint custody means, if you got that 50-50 custody, ain't no child support because he's putting up half and you're expected to put up the other half. Those are them safety nets being that rug is being snatched up under females now. and they're going to be forced to get back into the roles that they had. You're gonna be forced to make that work with your baby daddy.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna be
right,
able to go and have 5 and 6 kids by 5 and 6 dude and live off of child support no more. What you gonna do when that ain't available? That ain't an option no more. You better make it work with the one that's willing to tolerate you, and they
that's
gonna
right,
get real respectful because they know that man has the leverage to say, "Hey, I don't want to do this no more. You ain't living up to your part. I'm finna walk away." So they don't have them options that they had no more. So watch what I say over the next 5 to 10 years. You're gonna see a serious reset in society, and you're gonna see a coming together of. I speak for black folks, so I don't know about no other community, but in the black community, you're gonna see families start to come together. You're gonna start to see black folks pulling together out of necessity.
Yeah.
that's the only way you're gonna be able to make it.
That
Yeah.
sound like
Let me jump in right if y'all don't mind, because I'm kind of outside and I want to have that
go ahead, Jay.
the background
Now you
noise.
good? I'm on mute.
So, man, what you said is so great when you said about the SNAP benefits and all that stuff. Even in that, it's like black women, young black women think, oh, I'm gonna get my benefit, I'm gonna get my food stamp, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get public housing. I don't need some. But do they not know that public housing, those benefits, especially public housing, was created to push the black man out? That's why they was saying like you can be in public housing, but you can't have a man living with you. They
Right,
push the black man away, and this is proven. This is fact. This ain't something that I'm just coming out the top of my head with. This has been proven. This is why they did that. And this is why they try to say we need to get the black male role model out of it. We don't need a strong role black male model. That's why you go back to the Willie Lynch leather. How they tarred and feathered the strongest or what they call it, disobedient black man, so the black female will beat that other male into submission or don't have to go through it. But they don't look at how deep this is. And so I'm getting my SNAP benefits. So when you what you just said, here
Mhm.
is what he's doing, it's going to make a difference because now you're going to be like, no, I need this. I need to find a way that we can come together and make this work. Because I can't go and worry about my SNAP benefits. And then now I'm going to get my child support check. When I get the child support check, I'm finna go out here and buy me a bag. I'm going to go out here and do this and do that. Like, you ain't in. But yeah, man, I'm going to get off of that a little bit. But I think you nailed it right there. I think that we will start to see a change in society.
Yeah.
And if not, it's going to be bad. And I hate to say it, it'll probably be worse on the black female because if you look at the rank structure, even though right now they say, oh, the black female she's above the black male because she's making more money, she's doing this. But in reality, it's going to always be the role of the white male, the black male, and sometimes the black male and the white female. They put them equal, but most of the time she falls right up under the black male. But the black female is always at the bottom. No matter how high in society she get, they still don't look at her as equal. They don't fear her as they would a black man. You can take a black female making $200,000 a year, and she can walk in the room. She don't really have the fear, but you can take this black janitor walk in the room, they'll have fear of him. So,
You,
but
you
anyway,
know you know what? That's I'm fucking with this conversation. I like it. I like where it's going because you be bringing up some points, and I want to put something out there on my personal life. So I recently started a new position, and when I came in the door, I have a black woman that's my equal. We both are in managerial roles. She could not get the buy-in from the employees to be successful. I sat her down. I said, I see what's going on. I said, do you mind if I step in? She was so frustrated. She was like, yeah, you going within a week time. I got the employees to where they need to be because sometimes it hit different coming from a black man, especially when it's men up on. It wasn't even the men that were the problem with them. It was the women. It was the other women. They didn't respect the fact of her position that she was in, even though she dictates to whether they are employed or not. She found herself begging them to do their job. I didn't do that. I came in the door and said, This what we need. This is the expectation. If you don't want to meet the expectations, nobody's holding you here. Meet the don't. And with and this came down from our bosses. Within a week, it's been a turnaround in that department. 1 week, and I'm not to toot my own horn. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying it hit different coming from a black man. When I'm sitting down, then in your face, looking you dead in your eye as a black man, and standing in a role that I'm supposed to be in. I'm supposed to be the head of this. They'll fall in. The women fall in line, and that's just a micro, this a small snapshot of society as a whole. When we as men step in those roles and say, "No, I don't like the way this stuff going. This is the way it's gonna happen," and you stand on that, because a lot of times what we see as the black man is we let them women do the go off, and then we just don't want to hear it no more. So we, all right, all right, all right, you do what you want to. No, stand on. You set a standard. Stand on that standard you set. And when you do, she has two options: either comply or hit the road. And that's with every aspect of your life as a black man. And when you set that standard, what you're gonna see more times than not, and that's with the children, that's with the women, is they will fall in line. They Children crave discipline, whether they like it or not. Internally, they know that they need that discipline. The same way with women. And I know some women gonna give me some backlash. So what you mean I need to be disciplined? I'm not no child. Well, yes you do. And you act like one. You act like you. And you need sometimes in life it's gonna require me to handle you like a child because of how you're acting. That doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you. That means I set a standard for us to be successful. And I know this works. History tells me this works. So when I set that standard, this is what the standard is, and you will comply, or you will do this on your own. And we're coming to a time where they don't have those fallbacks, because the government has been the fallback when the man sets that standard. Well, I ain't got to listen to you. I can take you to court and get child support. I can leave you, take half your stuff in the divorce, and then I can turn around and the government is going to give me child support. Now, what are you going to do when the government ain't supporting that no more? Oh, that hit different. That hit a little different then, because you can't do that. So if you can't do that, can you operate on your own? Can you maintain this household on your own with no government?
No, they got to fall back in the standard. Then they got to
There,
get back in the standard.
there you
Yeah,
go.
very good.
And, to kind of circle it back around to the Ayesha Curry, that's what she'll realize. When Steph put his foot down, and that's on him to put his foot down, and say, either you do this or I'll let you go. And I'll pay you the child support, and I'll pay you the alimony. I'm still a successful basketball player. I still have the ability to earn. What do you have once the last child turned 18 years old and that child support goes away? What
Got
do
to
you
figure
have
it out then.
once that alimony goes away? Because people don't know that alimony there's a set time limit for alimony. There are conditions to alimony, and we don't know what kind of prenup that they have. So when that happens, what happens then? Because you see this a lot. You look at these basketball wives shows. Look at them 10 years down the line when they don't get that child support check anymore. A lot of them hit that wall and they fall off badly, because now they don't have that sort of income. Now you don't have the looks that can get you another guy. Now you out there on your own, and a lot of them go broke very quickly.
That's why they on them shows. That's their income.
Don't
Telling
pay,
their business.
man. Them shows don't pay. Them shows barely paying them $100,000 a year. Them reality shows don't pay. That's not like a sitcom from back in the day where you might get 100,000 per episode, 200,000 per episode, 1 million per episode. No, they getting regular people money to go on these reality shows.
Right.
But
They hustle. They hustle.
but
They
the
hustle.
ones that
They
that, that
pay
mess and put
money.
all their business out, they paying them.
They
That you
might,
got to be you got to be the messiest one.
they might. They ain't always guaranteed. Look at Nene Leaks. Nene was the poster child for the what show was that? Real Housewives. Nene wasn't getting paid like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what he's saying. Like they get out, they gotta hustle up some money so they're gonna be on the show to
Mm-hmm.
get.
But that just like the Christian wife. Now she done brought all this controversy. The child ain't even here. It's Chris Webber child. Come on, man.
There's some wild
So
stuff.
you
That's
know
a whole other conversation right there.
she been scheming off the top the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
wild.
so you know she probably blackmailed Chris Webber and everything, man.
And what you don't see is Chris Webber ain't running to claim his child neither. He ain't running to give her a bag either.
Right.
Now he was good all this time, jumping up and down on her spine every time Doug Christie went out of town and turned his back. But now that it's out, he ain't running to say, "Okay, I'm gonna be with her." No, he ain't finna do
No.
that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man. But yeah, man, it's been good conversation about this, and you know, and look,
Got right.
Man,
and we get another
Hey, Steph got to put his foot down, man.
mm-hmm.
Hey guys, it's been real for me. I just got a couple things to do, so I'm gonna have to bug out right now. But
Oh, you
hopefully
good?
we can pick back up, man. This is a great conversation. I think this is something that we may need to invite more women on so we all can come
Yeah,
together and get a perspective. I think this would be a good show for that, and just get everybody together and let's talk. I think that's where it starts from. We just gotta communicate and come together and understand, because we gotta understand how they feel too.
Well, I'm gonna get
What it is that's going on with them.
well, I'm gonna get with you so we can come up with a date that we can
yeah,
go.
'cause we need your homegirl on there, man.
Yeah.
This would have been a good conversation for her.
Yeah, the
Okay.
real. All
But,
right, well,
all right,
we'll do
man.
that.
Y'all be good, man.
All right,
All
yeah,
right.
All right, man.
we about to roll anyway. Yep, we're about to roll out of here and get ready. We got a couple games coming up, and we'll do that. Terry, we got to holler about this college, man.
Yeah, what time you want to do it?
Well, what is it, 11:30 now? Yeah, so probably about
Yeah.
another 15.
About an hour 15.
No, about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we gonna switch over to YouTube. 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. That's what we had.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
man. Too, man. I ain't hollered at you in a while. Boy, I've been missing you, man.
Hey, man, it's good to see you back on here, man. I wish you could have came in from the start of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know what I was doing, man. I don't know, man. I ain't really. You know what? That girl, though, man, she got a real problem. I heard. I just heard something about she talking about she really didn't want kids. I was like,
Yeah.
this woman here confused, dog.
She ain't confused. She's just selfish, and that's
Yeah.
what we see. And a lot of these women that marry to these successful men are selfish women to begin with. They married the men for the selfish reason because I can be taken care of for the rest of my life or as long as I'm willing to tolerate him. And then when I leave him, I know that the government is gonna make him pay me some money on the way out the door.
Right.
But that's why she operates the way she operates. But it boiled down to what you said. Steph got to put his foot down. He gonna
Yeah.
have to step up and show he got some
But
balls about himself.
see, you got to understand this here too now. See, his dad, he looking back at his dad them relationship. No, the mama went with the neighbor,
We're
went
doing
with
it.
one of the neighbors,
Yeah, yep.
and he got the man wife. So
Yep.
they swingers or something, man.
They don't flip flop couples. Yep.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we'll get to that. Also this week we're gonna be talking about the gambling. I think we're gonna talk about that on Tuesday. About the gambling scandal. We'll talk about that on Tuesday as well. But yeah, we'll get together. Tub, I'm in here. We're gonna talk this college football in a few minutes.
Okay.
See what's going on, man, with that top 25.
Yeah, that's it. Just send me the link. so I
Okay.
can link in on.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm ready when you ready.
All right.
All
All
right, Tub.
All right, bro. I'll see
right.
y'all on the college side.
All right.
Okay.
Be out, everybody.
All right.
Peace.
Maybe out.